In Python, numbers are like versatile tools that help us solve problems and do cool stuff with math. We have different types of numbers, like whole number, which is called integers, and numbers with decimal points, which is also called floats. With these numbers, we can do all sorts of calculation and make our programs do amazing things. We can add numbers together, subtract them, multiply them, and divide them. We can also compare numbers to see which is bigger or smaller. But the coolest part is that Python lets us do way more than just a basic math. We can use numbers to control loops, make decisions in our programs, and even create complex simulations. So whether you are just starting out or you are already a Python pro, understanding numbers in Python opens up a world of possibility for your coding adventures. Hello guys, welcome back to Pure Coders. In programming, numbers are important for keeping score in games, showing data in charts, saving information on websites, and more. Python handles numbers in different ways based on what we are doing. First, let's talk about how Python deals with whole number called integers. They are the easiest to use. In Python, you can do math with integers. You can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. When you are working with numbers in Python, you can just write them directly without using quotes. The only time I suggest using quotes is when you are talking about number in sentence. For example, I will write a variable called score, then assign 100 to it. This 100 is an integer. Let's move down to another example. Create a variable called message, then assign my score is 100 to it. In this situation, 100 is in a sentence. That is why I enclose it in a strings. Therefore, my score is 100 is a sentence and they must be in a strings because they are sentences. Now, let's do some real math. Let's create a variable called A, then assign 10 to it. Another variable called B, assign 20 to it. Then create a variable called addition. Then assign A plus B. Now, let's print the variable addition. The output gives us 30. We all know that 20 plus 10 will surely give us 30. We can also do this using one line, which is print 10 plus 20, and our output also gives us 30. You might think, why going through all these steps instead of just using the print function directly? However, using variables is beneficial when you plan to do more calculation with those numbers. I can do a lot of arithmetic without retyping. For example, print A plus B plus A plus B plus B plus B. This makes it more faster. Let's do some maths. Create a variable called subtraction, then assign B minus A to it. Create another variable called division, then assign B divided by A. Then create a variable called multiplication. Then assign B asterisk A. Then create a variable called power. Then assign B asterisk A. When we subtract, we use the minus sign. When we divide, we use the forward slash. And when we multiply, we use the asterisk or star. And when we raise a number to a power, we use double asterisk. Now, let's run this subtraction. It gave us 10. Okay, let's do the division. It gave us 2.0. Remember, when you are doing division, even if your numbers divide perfectly, your answer will always be in a decimal form, which is called a float. Moving on to multiplication. Here we are, we got our answers. Then the power. Good. Now I believe you can do your basic mathematical assignments using Python. Let's move down to float. In Python, any number with a decimal point is called a float. This term is used in many programming languages. It means that a number can have a decimal point anywhere. Programming languages need to handle decimal numbers carefully to make sure they work correctly, no matter where the decimal point is. Usually, you can use floats without any problem. Just type in the numbers you want to use and Python will probably do what you expected. Let's create a variable called d and assign 5.0 plus 2.0. Then print the variable called d. When you do your math with floats, you will always get a float as the answer. Also, you can mix floats with integers like doing a variable called t equal 2 plus 3.0, which will give you a float as a result. You can use all the math tricks we used before with floats also. Try making your own examples to understand it better. When writing long numbers, you can group digits into underscore to make larger numbers easier to read. For example, long underscore number, then I will assign 1 underscore 2, 3, 4 underscore 5, 6, 7 underscore 8, 9, 0. Then print long underscore number. If you were to print the variable long underscore number, the output will simply be the number itself. The underscore are ignored by Python when evaluating the value of the variable, so the output is the number without any underscores. You can set values for multiple variables in one line of code. This makes your program shorter and easier to read, especially when you are setting initial value for a group of numbers. For instance, you can set the variable x, y, and z to number like x, y, z and assign 5, 10, 20 to it. You have to separate the names of the variables with commas and do the same with the values. Python will then assign each value to its corresponding variables. As long as the numbers of the values match the numbers of the variables, Python will match them correctly. You can print each variable. Let's print the y variable. Print y, and we have our 10. The final part of today will be about constant. A constant is a variable that keeps the same value throughout a program's lifetime. While Python doesn't have a specific constant types built in, programmers often use all capital letters to show that a variable should be treated as a constant and not change. For example, mass underscore connection equal 5. What I'm saying here is that the maximum numbers of phones that can connect to the hotspot is 5. When you want to treat a variable as a constant in your code, write the name of the variable in all capital letters. That is all for today's tutorials. I have decided to change the format of our exercise. I will give you the question and then wait for 10 seconds before providing the answer. This should give you enough time to pause the video and try to answer it yourself. Write addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division operations that each result in number 8. Make sure to put your operation inside the print call to see the results. You should create 4 lines that look like this. Our time is up. Let's do the solution. We have to create a basic math calculation that will result in 8. Print 4 plus 4, which will give us 8. Print 10 minus 2, which will give us 8. Print 2 asterisk 4, which will also give us 8. Print 16 divided by 2, which will give us 8 also. Now, let's run this. In the output, all the 4 codes are showing the same answers. If you got it right, comment about it in the comment section below. Let's move on to the second challenge. Use a variable to represent your favorite number. Then using that variable, create a message that reveals your favorite number. Print that message. Time up. Now, I'm going to use favorite number as my variable and assign 20 to it. Then, I will use a variable called message. Then, using the F strings to join them together. And inside my string, I will write my favorite number is. Then, don't forget the curly braces. Then, inside the curly braces, favorite number. Then, let's print out the message. Yes, we got our message reveal. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button and share my video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.